Hi everyone, it's Julie Hutchison here from Think, Be, Do Leadership. And this evening I want to think about why is it that people who are really good at what they do often absolutely suck at being the manager, the leader, and often shy away from it and don't do a very good job. And of course, if that happens to be you, what can you do about that? Because actually, what I believe is that it's not true that people who are good at what they do can't be a good leader. However, there are things that will trip you up, that will mean that you fall into the traps and end up not being very good if you're not careful. So let's have a think about this. So first of all, why is it that people say, well, if you're really good at what you do, then you're not going to be very good at being a leader? Well, the thing is, when you're really good, if you might be an engineer, you might be an accountant, you might be an IT specialist, you've trained, you've worked hard, you might be a lawyer. I know there's many things where you've probably worked really hard to get where you get, and your technical expertise is fantastic. And maybe you went to university or you started a business and you learn all that stuff in great detail. And that makes you good at what you do. And then perhaps you, if you started a business, you then took on staff. Or if you're in an organisation, you got promoted because of how good you were at what you did. Now think about it. When you were studying and training, did anybody say to you, oh, I tell you what, whilst you're doing that, do you think you can do some leadership training as well while you're there? Well, not many people do. Strangely enough, when I went to university, my degree was manufacturing engineering and management. So they did think about that a little bit, that you probably need to be able to be a manager or a leader. However, many courses and many people in their life and the way they structure their career don't have that joy of having that leadership training. And what that means is that the mindset that you have is of the technician. There are many good books on this one. And the thing is, including the E-Myth, please check that out because that's a really good book. The thing is that when you're really great at it, then it's really hard to trust anybody else to do it as well as you. So the first thing that happens is start off with not being able to delegate because you can't trust people to do it as well as you. Now, if I had £1 for every time I heard somebody say it's easier to do it myself, then I'd be a rich woman. And so what happens a lot is that people say, oh, it's just not worth, it's not worth the effort to try and stop, slow down and teach somebody how to do it. The problem with that is then you can never trust anybody and they'll never do a good job. So it's a vicious circle because, they'll prove you right because they can't, because you haven't let them have a go. But what that means is that people will then lose confidence and they'll lose the motivation to even want to try. So what you'll start seeing is people won't want to join in, they won't want to step up, and you'll be thinking, God, lazy, or they don't try, or see, I was right, they weren't very good. And the thing is that you've actually set them up to fail. And so when we have people who are brilliant at what they do, we have to be careful that we're not actually stopping other people from getting in on the act. You're too good, you're too great at it, and it scares people off. Or you're kind of offensive when you tell them that they're not good enough. And so what we need to do is to help those people to trust other people. And the way in which we do that is to start looking at coaching people to grow their skill, and not just expect them to be as good as you straight away. And it takes hard work because, yes, you have to stop, you have to get off your hamster wheel, you have to stop doing what you're doing, which you're really good at, and you have to allow them to make mistakes. But you also have to guide them in how do you want it to be done. And that takes a little bit extra effort from you, but you will reap the rewards in the long term. Now, the problem is many people short term want to get things done because it's busy business, whatever it is that you do, you probably just want to get on with it. But taking that time now to help people to learn, help people to grow and to be able to trust them will reap its rewards in the future, because then you can say, actually, Bob is really good at that and I can let go. But not until you do that will you have success in delegating things. Because the problem is if you just throw it at them, then again, you're going to prove yourself right because they're going to make a mess of it. So you've got to help them. You've got to set them up to succeed. And if you want to learn how to set them up to succeed, well, that's what we do on the Leaders Launchpad. And we're just starting a new cohort in November. If it's something that you think you might be interested in and you like what you're hearing here, you want to find out about it, please get in touch or message me here or email me at julie@thinkbedoleadership.com. But remember, just because you're good at something doesn't make you a good leader. So it doesn't make you a bad leader, but you need to be mindful of the fact that actually you may be having a negative impact on those people around you, which means you're going to be a busy person for the rest of your life. So don't be busy, be clever about it. Be as intelligent as you are about the thing you do with your leadership style. Give me a shout. It's Julie Hutchison from Think, Be, Do Leadership. Take care.